Have you ever stood in the middle of a room trying to remember why you walked in there in the first place? Or maybe you found yourself hesitating before doing something simple, like going to the store or making a phone call, because it just felt a bit overwhelming that day. If that sounds familiar, please know you're not alone. As we get older, even the most everyday tasks can feel like more effort than they used to. It's not that we're suddenly incapable, it's just that the way we approach these little moments can change. And the truth is, you don't need to overthink it. Staying independent isn't about grand gestures or pushing yourself beyond your limit. It's about leaning into the small, manageable habits that keep your mind sharp, your body moving, and your confidence strong. Today, let's talk heart to heart. In this video, we're going to explore 4 simple everyday tasks, things you're probably already doing in some form, that can quietly but powerfully help you stay independent. No complicated plans. No special equipment. Just little daily actions that make a big difference over time. We're going to ease into it step by step, just like a good conversation over a warm cup of tea. So let's start with something that might surprise you. Getting dressed every morning with intention. Now, I know, this might sound too simple at first. But hear me out. When you wake up and take a few extra minutes to get ready, not just throwing on any old thing but actually choosing an outfit, maybe brushing your hair or adding a touch of cologne or perfume, you're sending a quiet but powerful message to yourself. Today matters. This small act tells your brain, I have a reason to get up. I'm still me. It grounds you in the day and gives a rhythm to your morning, even if you don't have anywhere specific to go. It doesn't have to be fancy. A cozy sweater, a clean shirt you love, or even just a fresh pair of socks can set the tone. And let's not overlook how movement plays into this. Reaching, bending, buttoning a shirt, all these little motions help keep your joints and muscles engaged in a safe, familiar way. And something else happens too. You're more likely to engage with the world when you feel put together. Maybe you decide to walk out and check the mail or have a video chat with your grandkids. It becomes easier to say yes to those small social moments when you feel like your best self, even in simple clothes. It's not about impressing anyone, it's about showing up for you. Alright, now let's walk into the kitchen together. Because the second everyday task is one you've done thousands of times, but it might need a fresh twist. I'm talking about making your own meals, even the simplest ones. Cooking doesn't have to mean elaborate recipes or standing over a stove for hours. But when you make yourself a meal, chopping up some fruit, heating up a pot of soup, even just buttering a piece of toast, you're staying in control of your daily life. You're choosing what goes into your body, and that's a powerful form of independence. Some people might say, why bother when I can just snack or order in? And sure, that's easy now and then. But preparing a meal, even a light one, keeps your senses active. You're touching, smelling, tasting, hearing the sizzle. It keeps your mind and body working together. It builds routine and encourages healthier choices without feeling like a chore. Let's say you're making a sandwich. You open the fridge, reach for the lettuce, slice a tomato, spread some mustard. Each step engages coordination, memory, balance. And when you sit down and eat something you made, there's a quiet pride there. It's like telling yourself, I did this for me. I still have that spark. One trick that works beautifully is prepping in small batches. Maybe on Sunday you cut up some veggies, boil a few eggs, or portion out nuts or fruit for quick snacks. That way, when you're not feeling like cooking later in the week, the choices are already easy. You're supporting your future self, and that's another beautiful form of independence. What I've found is that staying independent isn't about trying to do everything. It's about choosing what matters and doing it in a way that works for you. Some days you'll feel full of energy, ready to take on anything. Other days you might just want to keep it slow. Both are okay. The key is to have these everyday habits that gently carry you forward, no matter how the day feels. So, between getting dressed with intention and preparing simple meals, we've already begun to build a rhythm. These tasks are like little anchors in the day. They remind you that you're still steering the ship, your ship. And now that we've eased into this rhythm together, let's take it a step further. Because staying independent isn't just about what we do, it's also about how we connect. Because staying independent isn't just about what we do, it's also about how we connect. And that brings us to something that's often overlooked but deeply important. Reaching out to someone once a day. Now, this doesn't have to be a deep heart-to-heart conversation or a long phone call, unless you want it to be. It could be as simple as sending a message, calling your neighbor to check in, or even waving at someone when you're out walking. The key here is creating a small habit of connection. One moment each day where you remind yourself that you're part of something bigger. When we stay connected to others, even in the smallest ways, it reinforces a sense of purpose. And purpose is powerful. It gives us a reason to keep going, even when we're feeling a little sluggish or uncertain. Having a reason to say, "Let me get up and call my sister," or, "I should text my grandson and see how his test went." Those moments are not just nice, they're vital. It's easy, especially as we get older, to let the days blur together. Maybe we live alone. Maybe the kids are busy. Maybe we've lost people we loved. Those things are real. They can weigh on us. But we don't have to accept isolation as the default. Independence doesn't mean going it alone. It means knowing when to take the lead and when to lean on someone else. There's strength in both. So how do we build this habit without it feeling like a chore? Try making it part of your daily rhythm, like brushing your teeth. Maybe every morning after breakfast, you pick someone to reach out to. Rotate through your family, friends, neighbors. Or maybe you write down a list of people who bring you joy or who might need a little check-in themselves, and work your way through that list, one person a day. No pressure, no expectations, just connection. Even leaving a kind comment on a YouTube video like this one can be a meaningful touchpoint. You'd be surprised how much warmth you can pass on with just a few words. You might be wondering, how does this help me stay independent? Well, it's all about staying mentally and emotionally active. That daily engagement, thinking of someone, reaching out, listening, laughing, exercises your mind. It keeps your empathy sharp, your memory working, and your heart open. These are not just emotional benefits, they're cognitive ones too. Plus, knowing you're connected to others makes it easier to ask for help when you truly need it without feeling like a burden. People want to be there for you, but that connection has to be nurtured like a little plant that needs a bit of sunlight every day. Now, while we're here in this warm, familiar space of daily rituals, let's talk about something that might not sound exciting at first, but trust me, it's one of the most underrated habits for staying independent. Tidying up a little each day. I'm not talking about spring cleaning or reorganizing your entire garage. No need to take on a big project that drains your energy. I mean those tiny acts that keep your living space clear, safe, and pleasant, without overthinking it. Maybe it's making your bed in the morning. Wiping down the kitchen counter after lunch. Folding a few clothes before dinner. These small actions build a sense of order and, more importantly, control. And when we feel in control of our surroundings, we move more confidently through our day. Think about it, when the floor is clear, you're less likely to trip. When the sink isn't piled high, cooking feels more inviting. When the chair isn't buried in laundry, you can sit down with your tea and enjoy a quiet moment. These aren't just chores. They're quiet affirmations. I take care of my space and my space takes care of me. And if energy is low or the body is a little stiff that day, just choose one small thing. Maybe it's putting away the remote where it belongs, or wiping your glasses and putting them in their case. There's no need for perfection, just consistency. What's beautiful about this is that tidying up also invites gentle movement throughout the day. A little stretch as you reach for something. A twist to pick something up. A step or two between rooms. It all adds up. You're keeping your body engaged without needing to schedule a workout. And here's a lovely bonus. Your home becomes a more peaceful place to live. A calm space leads to a calm mind. And when your environment feels manageable, life feels more manageable. You're not wasting energy searching for your keys or wondering where you left your glasses. You're free to focus on what really matters, enjoying your time. All of these tasks, getting dressed with care, preparing a simple meal, connecting with someone daily, and tidying up a little, might seem small on their own. But they work together in quiet harmony, creating a rhythm that supports your independence without draining your energy or overwhelming your mind. They give structure to the day. They give purpose to the moments in between. And they remind you that independence isn't about doing everything on your own. It's about choosing to stay engaged, choosing to move forward, even in the smallest ways. There's a quiet kind of dignity in these everyday actions. They're not loud. They don't get applause. But they build the kind of life that feels full and grounded. And when you string enough of those moments together, you start to feel a strength that doesn't depend on your age, your mobility, or your calendar. It's the strength of knowing you are still leading your own life on your own terms. And that's a beautiful thing. So let's take a deep breath together. You don't need to do it all. You don't need to rush. You don't need to be who you were 20 years ago. What matters is who you are today, and what choices you make right now to take care of that person. And if you've made it this far in the video, I want you to know something. You're already doing more than you think. Just by being here, just by listening and reflecting, you're taking a step toward a more intentional, more independent, more fulfilling day. That's the real power of small habits. They build quietly in the background like soft music in a room. Not demanding your attention, but shaping your mood, your energy, your perspective. You don't have to overhaul your life. You don't need a 20-step routine. You just need one thing to start with. One action to anchor you. So let's do a quick recap. You get dressed for the day because how you feel in your clothes affects how you move through the world. You prepare at least one simple meal because nourishing yourself is an act of love and control. You reach out to someone once a day because staying connected keeps your heart and mind alive. You tidy up a little because your environment is a reflection of how you care for yourself. Each of these actions tells your brain and your body, I'm still here. I'm still living my life. I'm still choosing. And the more you choose for yourself, the more independent you stay, not just physically but mentally and emotionally too. You don't need to do all four every single day. Start with one. Start with the one that feels easiest, or the one that brings you the most comfort. And then build from there like bricks in a cozy little home of routines that support you. And if you ever have one of those days, because we all do, where everything feels a bit too much, just remember this. Doing something is always better than doing nothing. Even brushing your hair, opening the window for fresh air, or just getting out of bed and sitting in a chair. That's movement. That's effort. That's enough. Because independence isn't about doing everything by yourself. It's about showing up for yourself, every day in your own way. Before we close, I want to leave you with a little quote that feels right for today. Do not wait for extraordinary circumstances to do good. Try to use ordinary situations. Jean Paul. Your ordinary moments, getting dressed, making a cup of tea, picking up the phone, those are your superpowers. And when you do them with intention, with kindness, with even a little joy, that's when you realize, you're not just getting through the day. You're building a life you still get to lead. So here's to you, to your strength, to your steady hands, to your soft heart, and to the everyday tasks that keep your light shining. If this video brought you comfort, clarity, or even just a moment of peace, I'd love it if you gave it a like, or better yet, shared it with someone else who could use this quiet reminder. And if you want more videos like this, simple guidance for living well, one gentle step at a time, go ahead and subscribe. We're building something beautiful here together. Until next time, take care of yourself. You're doing better than you think.